Hey there everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about things that beginners should stop doing. And the reason why I know you should stop doing it, because I did all these things and I wish that I would have stopped. Boom, it's science. Number one is stop playing out of tune. I remember being a younger player and my dad would be like, how can you stand to play that guitar so out of tune? I'd be like, what? It doesn't sound out of tune to me. So as a beginner, your ear's really not trained to knowing when the guitar is perfectly in tune just yet. Make sure that you are tuning every single time before you practice, before you go to jam, whatever it is, tune constantly. Get your ear used to it and work on being able to tune by ear. You know, tuning your guitar to itself is helpful, but make sure you're also using a tuner because you want to make sure that you're in tune to everyone else. So if it's band practice, what we would do is we would all tune to the same tuner. That way we were in tune. Now, number two is slouching when you're playing. This is a huge one. What happens whenever you are kind of like sitting on the couch, watching TV, whatever it is, we might sit in a more relaxed way. And, you know, I don't want to discourage anyone, play your guitar as much as possible. But if you can, try to make sure you're sitting upright. It really helps a lot. It builds really good posture on the guitar. Sometimes if we lean and we put our arm, you know, on the arm of the chair, or we're sitting kind of slouched or leaning back, we're just sitting in a very unnatural way. It's going to end up developing a lot of bad habits. This is really key for beginners, and it kind of goes for everyone. I do this too sometimes. I remember I'm like sitting on the couch weird, and I'm like, oh, wait, don't do that. Sit up and play. So if you're doing any of that stuff, just kind of make a mental note. Make sure that you're sitting upright and practicing, and it's really going to help. On to number three. Make sure you're playing music. It's got to be number three. So a lot of times we get wrapped up in playing, you know, technique exercises, scales. There's all these little gadgets that you have to learn as a guitar player. But you got to remember, make sure you're playing things musical. So you can do this by playing over backing tracks. You know, I'm going to use a pedal here that it just simply holds down a single note. A droning note is a great way to practice your scales, but it instantly makes it in this like musical application. So let me show you real quick. So real simple, I was just playing straight through the scale, not really trying to do anything fancy, but it starts sounding like something. If I just did all that stuff without that accompanying droning note, listen to it. It just sounds like a scale. No one wants to hear that. They want to hear music. And not that what I played was the most musical, but it makes it way more fun. I can't tell you how many times I would give this to students and have them using an actual droning track, and they're like, oh my God, I sat there and practiced for an hour and I didn't even realize it. And I'm telling you, it just makes all that boring stuff fun. On to number four. Now with this one, we're going back to the whole practicing thing, and it's practicing not plugged in, especially on electric. This is really crucial. What happens is if you don't plug your guitar in when you're practicing, and you want to play with distortion, you have to learn how to control distortion. You're not actually building that ability. And the other thing is people tend to pick harder. If you're just sitting there unplugged, you know, an electric guitar is just not that loud, so they end up picking too hard. It builds bad habits. So if it's at all possible, make sure that you're plugged in. If you have to use headphones, whatever it is, because like I said, you have to learn how to use distortion, and you want to build picking dynamics. Just picking heavy all the time, it's not really the road you want to travel. The fifth and final one is gear. Don't worry so much about gear. Trust me, you're going to spend your whole life nerding out about gear, worrying about your tone, all that stuff. In the beginning, Don't worry about it. Focus on playing and practicing. So many starter amps are amazing nowadays. Like I said, you're going to hear more experienced players constantly talking about this tone, this guitar. Don't worry about it. Play what you got and just practice. All right, and that's going to be it. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you have your own comments, suggestions for beginners, leave those down in the comment section. I know there's a lot that I probably left out. And other than that, I'm going to bounce on out of here. Like and subscribe, and always end it bluesy, baby. That was a good one. All right, bye guys.